has since then. And it seems Sumeru's changing for the better now that Nahita's in charge, right? Paimon just hopes this peace will last a long time. And then Nahita won't have any more new problems to deal with. Yeah, guess you're right. We somehow always find ourselves right in the thick of it. Who knows what will happen next? Come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you. Maybe you're just a magnet for trouble. Huh? Me? Before Paimon ran into you, Paimon never ran into any trouble. At most, when she was super tired, Paimon got caught in some strange whirlpool and sucked out into sea. And even then, you fished Paimon out. Anyway, for Nahita's sake, maybe we should think about heading to our next destination for now.
Ah, look who it is. Running into you in a place like this? I can see you two still love wandering around.
Oh, it's Dia! Since when are we just wandering around? We're usually taking care of some serious
हेलो काशिफ भाई क्या बात है
even though it may have nothing to do with our journey. But never mind that. What brings you here?
कस्टम कैसे चल रहा है
I just finished a commission in the desert for a usual client of mine. Nothing too interesting. Just escorting a shipment of goods. I'm on my way to report back. That's when I saw you two all the way over there, chatting away. What were you two talking about anyway? Huh? You serious? Can't say I saw that coming. But you are travelers after all.
खेल रहा है यार नई वीडियो में चल अरे हैकर बहुत आ रहे हैं यार दिमाग खराब हो जाता है एक मैं शांति से खेलने बैठो
This will become a rarity. I'm starting to feel sad just
एक बंदा बैन नहीं हो रहा रिपोर्ट कर करके
Hey, how about I gather a few mercs to escort you two? What do you think?
Thanks, but no need. Paimon had no clue you'd miss us so much. But don't worry, we'll come back to see everyone when we get a chance.
Sounds good. All you need to do to get to Fontaine is cross this stretch of desert and navigate some waterways. Knowing you two, I'm sure it won't be anything you can't handle.
अरे यार ये लाइट की माँ की
When are you leaving?
Oh,
स्ट्रीम करने बैठो लाइट चली जा रही है
remember, there are still a few dishes in Sumeru that Paimon hasn't tried yet. Now, where's that list Paimon made?
कल रात में हैकर जी मारा डिशेस अरे मार तम भी देता वो एम्बोट वाले इतने गंदे आ रहे हैं ना अभी एक मैच में तो मारे बाबा और मैं दो बंदे मार दिए थे वो आर पार ही मार दिया एंड में तुम लोग को कवर में स्मोक के आर पार ही मार दिए
Seems true heroes always prefer leaving quietly.
By the way, should we go say bye to Nahita?
मैं जी मारा नहीं समझ गया मैं तू नहीं मारा उसको डीवीएस क्लोज रेंज में डीवीएस इनसेन है भाई
Oh, good point. Then there's no need to bother her in the real world.
Then I guess this is goodbye for now, traveler in Paimon. Whether as a client or a friend, you're always welcome to come find me.
Goodbye, Dia. Bye-bye, Sumeru.
बाय बाय हो गया सुमेरू का हम तो पहले ही पहुंच गए हैं वहाँ पे सब कुछ खोल दिए दूसरा बंदा कौन है भाई दूसरा कोई नहीं इसमें तो सिंगल है नीचे जाना है अपने को दूसरा डिवाइस लिया मैं अभी परसों. अरे क्या बात है, कौन सा लिया?
Finally made it. Oh, this must be Fontaine's port. Wow.
आईफोन ले लिया क्या?
Advanced in Fontaine. Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and there are all kinds of unusual machines. Just seeing the sights as a
पुराना
tourist
गया,
is nice,
खत्म हो गया वो. अरे रे,
maybe it would be better if we found something to do. What do you think?
मैं तो पीसी के लिए रुका हूँ, नहीं तो ले लेता मैं भी.
Good idea. Nahida gave us loads of useful information. Seeking out the Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point. Yeah, the more we can learn, the better. So,
Realme 9 5G Speed Edition.
we
वो
get along? Nahida,
चिपसेट क्या है उसका?
to learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
778 स्नैपड्रैगन कम है वैसे काफी.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden
एक में मैं देख रहा था ऑफर कल कितना था. 888 स्नैपड्रैगन था उसमें. नाम भूल गया मैं डिवाइस का. कांस्टेंट 60 fps सही है.
Excuse me. Can I help you too? I couldn't help but notice you standing here listening.
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but
मेरे लैब पे आ गया तो मैं इसी पे ही खेलूंगा फिर आराम से. पीसी आ गया बीजी में इसी पे खेलूंगा. सीओडी खेलने की इच्छा हुई आजकल तो भाई इतने हैकर आ रहे उसमें.
We're talking about something that really happened. In fact, it's a case that was just heard a few days ago.
Really? Like a real trial? But the way you were talking about it and the words you used just now made it sound like some kind of story.
Well, good tales are often based on true stories.
तो
aren't
नया तो कर
they? And
रहा
what you see in
है.
reality may also be someone deliberately putting on an act while harboring ulterior motives. Whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main
अच्छा,
thing
call
is whether
करूं?
the story being acted out on the stage is splendid.
रात में ही आएंगे बाबा आएंगे तो देखते नहीं तो फिर शाम वाम के टाइम पे.
You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more commonly known as just the Opera House.
But shouldn't court cases be treated a little more seriously than that? Not to question Fontaine's way of doing things. It's just that putting someone on trial is usually a very serious thing.
ठीक है.
No worries.
कर दूंगा
Other
कॉल.
visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You
Bye.
could say that we just don't want to waste the moving stories behind those cases. And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable Chief Justice Neuvillette, as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice, false charges and injustice are a thing of the past now.
You're a trees? Is it some kind of machine too? Oh, Paimon's curious. We should check it out if we get the chance. Wait, Paimon almost forgot to ask you a question. Do you know what we should do if we want to meet the Hydro Archon?
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Farina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
Huh. I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I'm afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance, and it'll depend on whether or not she has any time slots available.
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff? Wait, didn't you say that she's always at the Opera House?
No. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time, people can't get enough of her.
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before. Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could even say our mascot.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about. You should show some more respect.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors. Otherwise, I might get arrested and find myself face to face with Monsieur Lynette.
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful about the Hydro Archon.
Alright, I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon at the Opera House. But who knows how long making an appointment will take? Guess we could have a look around the city in the meantime. Hey! What are you looking over there for? Huh. Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she? Maybe we better go check on her.
पानी में अदृश्य होने की शक्ति तो नहीं मिल चुकी है।
Hello there. Excuse me. Are you alright?
Huh? I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then. We just noticed that you seem to be worried about something.
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there. See?
You're pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
No people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And now I can still see that hill clearly in my memories. Now it's been completely submerged. We would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea. But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories. It won't be long before it swallows us.
Sorry. Hyman doesn't really get what you mean.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Oh, and you are?
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lyney, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you. Hyman is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine. We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Hyman's always the one talking for some reason. So that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Seems you were right, Paimon. We are quite similar.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories? And that it won't be long before it engulfs you too?
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for some time now. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's no doubt about what's happening in Fontaine now. Where to begin? Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally greeted each other yet, have we?
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, Traveler. And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why did Paimon get a handshake? You're not poking fun at Paimon, are you?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new friends. You should remember it. It might prove useful.
Oh, all right then. Well, I'm just happy to have a local friend now. By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the opera house to meet the Hydro Archon. Would you be able to show us the way?
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the opera house later myself. I'll gladly take you once I finish things here. Please, follow me. You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
ओ भाई साहब पहले नहीं लग रही है, बस थोड़े से आउटफिट और हेयर स्टाइल चेंज है। चलिए आ रही है, उनकी चीफ होगी। रख दो इतना गरम गरम, रखे तो टुकन अनेक गरम।
So, she's the Hydro Archon? But how did she know we were looking for her?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, then just raise your hand and kneel. As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and his companion who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally. Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured, I see clearly your sincerity. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent.
इसका भी नोटिस गया लग रहा है।
Under the correct banner. I, Thosalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip. Now, you may rejoice in this.
Yeah, I still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes. But the Hydro Archon entrance was, how should I describe it? A little over the top? Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably
ना कबाट लगी था।
have some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and the excellent. I suppose it's only natural for you to be awestruck by my abilities. You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
Whoa, talk about sounding high and mighty.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough? What else should I say then?
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Wow, Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. What a surprise! Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina? Is there some kind of drama going on?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler. The one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see him. Oh, I bet this is going to be the duel of the century.
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Farina would never disappoint.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy. And despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their ruckus. You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this traveler from another land, just as you were hoping to see. Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves? Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Stand down, Clorent. I admire his bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. He is obviously a true warrior. Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for excitement.
Yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that interesting.
On Aranias, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. You're getting a bit old, to tell the truth.
You see. Then, as the god of justice, I shall face this traveler in another kind of duel. A duel in court!
All right! Now that'll be worth seeing!
Right. This is Fontaine, after all. It's such a grand opera house, it would be a pity not to use it.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time in the opera house. Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial? Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. It's obvious, isn't it? According to Fontaine,
आप मार खा के ही मानते
no
हैं
one
भाई.
is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first
Flying
3
object?
days of each month. You are clearly guilty of violating this law, no?
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's our Lady Farina. No one knows the laws of Fontaine like she does.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait, flying object? You mean Paimon? Precisely. Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the Hydro
क्या bullshit law है
Archon, I
भाई.
order your arrest.
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun. But if you would allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
You tell her, Lyney. Finally someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying object? Great magician Lyney, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object. But how exactly do you plan to prove your claim?
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
ये क्या है?
Ta-da! What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did you do that?
ये तो सही है ट्रिक.
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the traveler's hand all along. It was just that no one could see it before.
You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
Huh. I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Farina's charges no longer hold water.
Amusing. Very amusing, Lyney. Just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy. With you here, today's performance can finally be called complete. Performance? You see all this as a performance? In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The god of justice will not bring charges against an innocent person. But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands. I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House, Mr. Lyney and Miss Lynette. That's enough for now. Toodaloo!
टीम आर्कॉन लेके आनी पड़ेगी लग रहा है.
Just like that, she's gone. Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. You never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was really...
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy. So, now do you see what kind of god Lady Farina is?
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
चंट गॉड है एकदम.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Lyney. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. Lynette is my assistant. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine, the Opera House.
But isn't the Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by fate. Might I invite the two of you to see my performance?
बिल्कुल आएंगे.
My brother's always excited to make new friends.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we wanted to go to the Opera House anyway.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go together? I'll show you the way. I just have something to take care of first. Oh, you really mean it? Then I'll take you up on your offer. This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that. You asked me before about the prophecy, right? Let me start by telling you a little more about what it entails. I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine. It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin? What is that supposed to mean?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath. Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so they can only be regarded as conjecture.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better just to ignore the prophecy completely? Why bother feeling guilty all the time?
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them. As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy when people are moving their belongings.
Oh, Jaime gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day! But this is more than a bit of freedom.
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? We're just tiny specks in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince them to take it, regardless of what they say.
What's this? So you also believe in prophecy?
What? You mean...
No, story says it's time will tell.
Oh.
All right, I'll take it.
So you're the blonde traveler that everyone's been talking about.
थोड़ा ले लो सर.
A magic pocket? Thanks.
I don't want that thing. Life is all...
Huge.
Oh, all right, fine. Thanks. It's just that...
फोकट में मिल रहा है फिर भी नखरे हो रहे हैं, बताओ.
Oh, you already handed out all of the magic pockets? That was fast. So, what did people have to say? I bet you heard some... interesting opinions. Yes, but that will change once disaster strikes. I know they'll change their minds, so it's only right to help them prepare.
Is there anything else you need to do before we leave?
Yes, one last thing. I have the magic pockets made by a workshop in the court of Fontaine. Since we're out and about, I was thinking about bringing in some more materials.
So, you want to collect materials? Just tell us what the materials look like and we'll help. Nanny?
Oh, that would be much appreciated. We'll need some Romaritime flowers. I remember seeing them near the waterfront on the east side of the harbor.
Seems we have to use Hydro to collect Romaritime flowers.
कभी बोलो मुझे मिल क्यों नहीं रहते फूल.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
made quick work of that. I can tell you're an experienced traveler. I've also finished collecting a few here. Maybe next time you'll feel like helping too, Lynette.
No way. I'm in power-saving mode today. Otherwise, I fear I may not have any energy left for the performance at the Opera House.
Fine. Though the performance is still a long way off. Now that we're finished here, we should get ready to head back to the Court of Fontaine.
So, we're going to the Court of Fontaine before we head to the Opera House? Good. Paimon wants a tour of Fontaine's largest city and try...
Wait, shh. Have you noticed that person over there? The young girl.
Huh? What's wrong with her? Paimon didn't notice anything.
She's obviously a thief. Magicians and thieves practice similar methods. We divert attention, and a distracted audience is one that won't discover what you're really doing. Watch her movements carefully.
ढाप लिए पैसे चोटी
Oh, he's right.
Shh, keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. Perhaps we should... You two can ride the lift over there and wait up top. I bet that'll be her escape route if she tries to run. All right, let's...
अंदर से सीढ़ी गिरे भगवान zombie
Osmanthus wine tasting.
This is the spot where Lyney wanted us to wait.
आ गई चोटी
Look! Isn't that her? Oh no! Did she notice us? What should we do? Should we chase her? You're right. She might also be trying to lure us away. Nothing's happened for a while now. Emma wonders if Lyney caught the thief. Yeah, let's...
Are you sure that's all she took? You should check to make sure you're not...
No. Now, anyway, I should...
Oh, were you returning what the thief had stolen?
That's right.
I saw the general direction she went, but Lyney twisted his ankle, and I need...
Oh, did you get hurt?
I'll be all right. It's just a twisted ankle, that's all. In fact, it's feeling better already.
If you want to play at being a hero, at least try not to get hurt doing it. Imagine what would happen if you managed to derail our performance as a result.
You're right. Sorry, Lynette. I have to admit that the thief was even more skilled than I had anticipated. But at least we were able to get the stolen items back, so it wasn't a complete failure.
What a slippery little thief. Guess things turned out all right in the end, though. Lyney's initiative paid off.
All right, let's put this little detour behind us. We should go to the court of Fontaine now.
So, rewrite this thing to go into the city? What an ingenious way to get around! People in Fontaine really know how to use water!
This is an aquabus. It allows people to travel between several key locations around Fontaine. It's pretty convenient, but the ride can become a little dull after a while. The scenery is always the same. That's why it's better to travel with friends.
So you mean it's still boring even when I'm riding with you?
No, that's not what I meant. It's just that, well, you don't really talk that much. Besides, it doesn't really feel like a real trip when it's just the two of us. It's the same as being at home.
Whatever.
Guess that's what it's like to be an older brother.
It's about time for us to leave. Let's get on board.
रिपोर्टर आ गई। अच्छा इसी ने लिखा होगा ना अपने बारे में पूरा इधर।
What? Traveler! Paimon! Shit!
I never guessed I'd bump into you while riding the aquabus. In the story of my life, this is big news. What are you doing in Fontaine? I didn't hear anything about you paying us a visit.
Yeah, it's quite the coincidence. But as travelers, we're always on the move. It's not surprising that nobody knew we were coming. Though you still have no idea how the Hydro Archon knew about us. Oh, let Paimon introduce you to our new friends.
Oh, no need for introductions, Paimon. I would recognize the great magician Lyney and his assistant Lynette anywhere. I wouldn't be much of a reporter if I didn't know who they were. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Charlotte, a reporter for the Steambird.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh? We've often relied on your paper to promote our performances.
It's an honor to meet you.
Now that everyone knows each other, Fontaine suddenly doesn't feel like such an unfamiliar place. So, what have you been up to lately, Charlotte? Any big news?
Not too much. When there isn't any breaking news, I mainly cover the trials at the Opera House. You can still manage to keep readers' attention as long as you tell things from a clever enough angle, even if it's the same old topics. For example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships, or how a financial criminal was once so poor that they ate a single piece of bread for 5 days. You're right. Seems you know me pretty well. What I'm really after is exclusive, sensational news pieces that could shake the country. These smaller stories are a waste of my talents. Oh, I just remembered. I've been following a case lately. Well, a series of cases, actually.
You mean the serial disappearances of young women case?
That's right. These stories are the talk of the town right now, and it's probably the most mysterious case we've ever seen. If I'm the first with a draft ready to publish when the case is finally cracked, and it's the headline story in the Steambird, oh, when that happens, I bet all the other reporters will shed tears of envy. I've already gathered all kinds of materials. I just can't wait for the truth to be revealed.
So, what is the serial disappearances of young women case? You mean the culprit hasn't been found?
That's right. The first missing girl case happened almost 20 years ago. And ever since, after a period of time, another girl disappears. What the cases have in common is that the girls are all of a similar age, and that they've all vanished without a trace. But the scariest part is that to this day, none of the girls have ever been found. Many suspects have been arrested over the years in connection with this case, but shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen. Yes, it's possible. But the Either way, I believe that every case has some precise truth behind it, waiting to be exposed.
Yes, I agree. And at the very least, the family of those missing girls deserves some sort of explanation. I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were to suddenly disappear. I'd pay any price to get her back, and then find a way to track down the culprit.
Please don't imagine that, Lyney.
पहुंच गए क्या?
Hey, we're almost there! Look!
सीनरी तो कमाल का है भाई.
Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you. Life should be full of pleasant little surprises like this.
Yeah, us as well. The ride went by too quickly.
I have an interview to get to. I should get going before I'm late.
Okay, I'm in hopes we can chat again soon, Charlotte. See ya!
Bye now. Oh, be sure to stop by and see me at the Steambird when you have time.
What a tough job. Always running around and interviewing everyone. Well, where should we go now?
If you don't mind, how about we stop by my home first? Besides, I still have all the materials we collected.
Sure, we wouldn't mind at all. This city is so huge, I wouldn't know where to start anyway.
कहीं तो आ गए अपन वक्त का पहिया घूमता हुआ.
This is our current abode. Ah, Fremine, you're home. Where did everyone else go? I have some new friends that I would like to introduce.
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon. I suppose that can't be helped. Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm Ernest Paimon, and this is the Traveler. Oh, you sound very proud to have a diver as a brother, Lyney.
Lyney, could you come here for a moment?
What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me? Okay, I see.
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing. We were just discussing a little housework. Sorry for the interruption. Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to make magic pockets. Were you able to get any, Fremine?
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of materials. I was about to give them to you.
That's our Fremine, always quick with the underwater work. All right, I'll take these to the workshop.
बारिश चालू हो गई इधर भी.
Looks like rain.
You're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago? Fontaine's weather sure is weird.
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House, but don't worry, it'll clear up soon enough.
What's wrong, Fremine?
There's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe. It's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, I should yell toward the sky at the top of my lungs. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
If it's an elemental dragon, then having the power to make it rain would be very unusual. Let Paimon try something. Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
Sorry. It might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. Perhaps it can't be comforted by the words of strangers.
छाती खोल दी उधर पे बताओ.
It rained for longer than I suspected. Oh, it's already getting late.
Was there something you needed to do, Lyney?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. I need to find a way to catch the last aqua bus of the day. On the day of the performance, just ride the aqua bus to the island of Araneus. I'll have Lynette meet you at the fountain in front of the Opera House.
Oh, are you leaving now?
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Oh, I get it. You feel nervous delivering the materials for the magic pockets, is that it? Perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to help us take these materials to the Beaumont workshop and deliver them to the owner there? I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted, and the boss there tends to be pretty talkative. Fremine has always been a little afraid of her.
No trouble at all! Don't worry, we're on the case!
Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm quite useless when it comes to such tasks. I'll think of a...
Oh, no need! This will be a walk in the park for us!
एक मिनट रुको. रेसिपी खरीदेंगे पहले. पूरे ही खरीद डालेंगे तो कुछ नहीं छोड़ेंगे. कुछ तो बना रही है बहन जी.
Hello? Is there anyone here?
Oh, hello there.
से काम चल
New
रहा है.
customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made? Or perhaps you're just looking for a chat with me.
Oh no, we're just here to deliver some materials. Here they are. They're for making... what were they called again?
Ah, these must be for magic pockets. I could tell right away. I've already made several orders worth now. No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth. When they told me what they'd be using them for, I even offered them a discount. But they insisted on paying the full amount, saying that I had a business to run. It seems both their hearts and their pockets are made of gold.
Wow. So, is lyney actually loaded?
I can't say for sure, but who knows? Maybe there's good money to be made being a magician in Fontaine.
Hey! Is this machine what you use to make stuff here? It looks really advanced.
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology, and wasting is a kind of crime.
But where does a big machine like that get its power from?
Well, it's a little complicated. I'm not sure I can put it in layman's terms for you, but basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's produced from trials.
Huh? How can trials produce energy?
Well, I'm not completely sure of all the details myself, but basically, when a trial is in session, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be used all around Fontaine.
So that's what its other function is? Paimon heard that the Oratrice was created by the Archon to make judgments, but Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like people's beliefs be turned into a stable power source for these machines? Oh yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take the energy created by belief and turn it into power for all of Fontaine, right?
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before, it sounds like it makes sense. Besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy called pneumosia. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature. Even now, it still cannot be widely used by civilians.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away. Since you're already talking, I'm sure you wouldn't mind a few words with me.
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to Conferry of Cabriere by next month? Why are you hounding me now?
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want 50% today. Wait, no, 70%.
Huh? You...
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered the materials. Maybe now's a good time to leave?
Hey, hold on.
Child
Before
lager?
you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own debts first? If Conferry of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between us first, before you get back to your little conversation here?
You're from Northland Bank. We said we'll pay everything we owe next month. Why are you hounding me now?
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
We're surprised to see you too! What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now, and honestly, things have been pretty boring. But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, the ones who always seem to find trouble. Either way you look at it seems things are going to get a lot more interesting now.
Pretty sure we want to avoid anything that
चाइल्ड भी आएगा मतलब फिर वो तो रखी है अपने पास.
pretty well so far, right, Traveler?
Hey, you, Northland Bank boy. Aren't you forgetting something?
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't you wait for me over there for a while?
Aren't you the one looking for us? You expect us to sit and twiddle our thumbs while you catch up with your friends? Listen to me, boy. If you want your Mora, fine. Why don't you go and take it?
पिटने के लिए बुला रहे
I
उसको.
just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tooser ice fishing, Tooser said,
Hey! That's way over the line! Alright,
can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients. You're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
I'm sure this won't take long.
No time. Shouldn't let your guard down.
भूतिया बना दिया मार मार के.
what's your deal, Brad? How are you so strong if you're just a stabber from Snezhnaya's Northland Bank? Wait, don't tell me you're...
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Just make sure you understand that you don't mess with Northland Bank. Got it? Huh?
Now's my chance!
तो भी पीट देगा वो.
Huh. That was weird. I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydro powers when I needed them. Maybe there's something wrong with my vision?
Strange. How could that happen? First time Paimon's ever heard of someone losing control of their vision.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides, I always have my delusion in case I need it.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? I don't see its work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that? Wait, since when do you feel down about anything?
I don't know. Maybe I still have a lot to learn about myself. But recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power stirring inside of me. And I don't know why, but every now and then I feel like I'm in a terrible mood.
Maybe you losing control of your vision just now is connected with that power you're feeling inside.
That is a possibility. I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, I fell into some unknown abyss. It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me was named Skirk. She was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what she had been through, and she was always very strict when teaching me combat techniques. One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as an apprentice. From what I could make of her answer, it was because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me. She said that all my combat training would be useful in the future.
What is it? What did you awaken?
She never explained that, but my guess is that it's related to a dream I saw when I had just fallen into that abyss. In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea, and the boundless seabed was all around me. But in front of me appeared a whale that was so massive, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us. Is that the one?
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental powers. It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind. I'll never forget it.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? Huh. Seems a little twisted to Paimon. So why don't
sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching for Master Skirk and that unknown abyss. But it's been years now, and I've still found nothing. There isn't even a trace of the place where I remember falling into the abyss.
Oh, it sounds like some kind of ghost story.
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there's nothing more I can do. It seems that strange encounters in this world tend to be elusive like that. Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you. I just remembered I have somewhere else I need to be, so I should get going.
What? More work for the Northland Bank?
And no, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official champion duelists whenever I'm feeling bored.
Official champion duelists? You mean it's their job to duel?
Yep, in Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official champion duelist. The champion duelists are all powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best. And the duel itself is a no-holds-barred fight with no specified stopping point. So engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor. If a criminal manages to win the duel, they'll be acquitted. But if they lose, they'll have no choice but to stand trial. And the worst-case scenario is that you're simply killed in the duel. Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty, from what I can tell, no one has ever been officially sentenced to death. So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused, or those who greatly value their honor. Otherwise, why gamble with your life?
So, do many people actually get out of their trials by winning the duel?
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Fontaine probably enacted this system as a way to show that the nation respects the honor of its citizens. Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with, which is exactly why I was itching to face them as soon as I got to Fontaine. Apparently the one I'm meeting today, Clorinde, is the strongest of the champion duelists. I had been asking her for some time before she finally agreed to face me today.
Well, that's child for ya! Paimon feels like we heard that name somewhere before.
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Huh? Your vision? You're seriously just giving it away?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way of my duel, so I think I'll be better off without it for now. Besides, I just need you to hold on to it for a short while. I'll come retrieve it when I have some time later.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us again, don't you?
Whatever gave you that idea? I'll be in touch later.
अपने पास हाइड्रोविजन
That sneaky guy. He said he's been feeling down lately, but he seemed the same as ever to Paimon. Well, since we don't have much to do for now, we might as well walk around and see the city before Lyney's performance. Wow! Who could have seen that coming? The reporter who was barely around for most of the story was the murderer all along! Sorry. Paimon was just surprised, that's all. The whodunit's here and it's so exciting to reach the moment. Lyney said that the opera house is on Aranias, so let's go ride the aqua bus.
किताबें खरीद डालो जितनी मिले
Next time
से आते हैं ऊपर है तो
Take it easy.
पहुंचना अपने को बैठे जाओ इसमें
Welcome to the Navia line. I am Alfan. The boat will be departing imminently. Please do not stick your head, hands, or other body parts outside the boat. The Aquabus operator is not responsible for any accidents or injuries resulting from doing so. Also, please remember to buy the Steambird, though I don't read it myself. The destination of the current tour is Arenius. Points of interest worth visiting include the Fountain of Lucine and the Opera Epiquest. If you look to the left in the direction we are currently traveling, you will see the famous Fontaine Research Institute up in the sky. An experiment gone wrong turned a new sightseeing opportunity. Human ingenuity truly is a wondrous thing. Approaching our final destination. Please be sure to bring all your personal belongings with you as you disembark. Even though I will take any forgotten items to Lost and Found, the paperwork is rather annoying, as melting hands are not suitable for grasping pens. Please be careful when disembarking. It has been my honor to be your tour guide this trip. Thank you.
Take it easy.
एक और गाड़ी पकड़ लेंगे इधर से
Take it easy.
standing around the fountain up ahead.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child. We pray.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as our child is healthy and lives a peaceful life.
I guess if they're our kid, there's no doubt they'll turn out smart.
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine. There sure are a lot of couples here.
Vache.
What's wrong?
Vache. Vache.
Hmm?
No, Paimon didn't say anything. Are you hearing things?
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. It's customary for newlyweds to come here and wish for children. Lyney asked me to wait here for you.
Right.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people here right now.
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you?
I see. In fact,
It's because of his sensitivity to the hydro element? But what would hearing a voice have to do with elemental power?
when do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
Just answer me.
When Paimon's really sad? Oh,
Then you should understand that tears contain your, like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
so what did the voice say? Huh.
Rather than worrying about that, don't let that calm look of his fool you.
Oh, right. That...
पंछी भाग गए, बताओ यार, हम पकड़ने की तैयारी कर रहे।
Take it easy.
तुक्के में फेंका था, कुत्ता ही पकड़ लिया मैंने तो बहुत। तुमको क्या चाहिए? हाइड्रो सिजिल ऑफर करने हैं, क्या क्या मिलेगा अपने को? लेवल क्या है इसका? टॉप इसका भी 50 होगा, एक बार में 50 करेंगे इसको। और 5 बचा है, इसमें भी एक है, वो मेरा टाइम। इनको ठोकना है, ठीक है।
Traveler and Paimon. Good to see you.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world.
But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started. The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your...
Ooh, front row seat!
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Lyney! Could you come over here and take a look at this?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
खाली पड़ा वो थिएटर वीवीआईपी थिएटर है वो
Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's sit down. Hey, Traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still. It's kinda awkward if we don't say anything. You little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
Excuse me. I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
So you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down. Wait, that's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So let's talk, but, what should we talk about? Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Lyney's too?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Lyney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Oh, so you're not friends with Lyney then? This is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat, and as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Noirceur. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Lyney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Noirceur? Could he be...
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Noirceur is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise she may become flustered.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Because she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. You may now enjoy the show.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before!
हमें भी देखना है वैसे तो सीटें भर गई एक सीट खाली नहीं बैठ रही
They're dimming the lights! The show must be starting! Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Lyney. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way.
Okay.
I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
वो तो मस्त था.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
That's right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
Thank you everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow! How's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lyney have actual superpowers?
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate. Now then, let's begin. Row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meripede.
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown? Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just, I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to come faster after hearing him say that!
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together. Come on, repeat after me. 60! That's right, perfect! Keep...
54, 53, aren't you counting, Nervalette?
I am counting in my head. I think merely a consequence of my identity and personality.
Oh, alright. You look so serious. 40!
Mr. Lyney, are you alright?
Yes, I'm fine. You would be a bit fast.
Even though he's saying that, Lyney doesn't seem nervous at all. What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't scream.
What's wrong, Mr. Lyney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black.
Never mind the decorations. There's...
No, that's unacceptable. I want... It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. 10 seconds of change is still plenty of time.
10! Almost there now. 8! Swapping 2 people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? Nope, that's not it. I'll try again.
7.
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5. 4. 3.
Oops! That doesn't count!
0.
What a basket. एक नहीं पड़ गया
Is this part of the show? Mr. Lyney, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was...
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Lyney's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Lyney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
No. This all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
That can't be right. How could Lyney do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Lyney and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
I just think that he... Well, I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth of
the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Lyney, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met. Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met. But with Lyney's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Lyney's attorney and defend him in this case? Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Lyney and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot Outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer? Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But, if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible. I'm upon them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh? Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence. Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Lyney.
I
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial. 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case! Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of mess if I were you.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Lyney's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troop long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Lyney is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive!
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence. Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
The investigation team has...
See?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Lyney and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them?
Lyney used them well.
It turns out, I'm sure you already know another word.
That much?
Let's just see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for...
So this is the rope that broke. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler? Oh. Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait, why would you write all this down? This people, why would it be him?
The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing... Sure. Her name is Halls. Apparently, the magic troupe, simply put, she wasn't related to the magic troupe at all. That's how it seemed.
Okay.
I'll need to be so... It is of utmost...
I see that you're investigating the area. If you find any...
We don't have too many thoughts yet. The thought?
Yes, exactly. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lyney's trick with bated breath.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that when the pyrotech...
Wait, wasn't the noise...
Perhaps the balance wasn't right. That's true.
That does...
Lyney's still talking to the girl. I think someone...
Hey, you! Yes, both of you. Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, they're all...
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Remediate and I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call...
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
माफिया बन के आए रे लोग.
My apologies, demoiselle.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just...
Hello, I'm new to the channel. What you doing? We are investigating an accident case which turned out to be a murder.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, that's right. I've always kept it judging from the look of things.
Really? We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues, but...
Did you play Genshin Impact?
Conclusion.
Genshin Impact.
Intuition,
Brendan.
naturally. My unparalleled intuition. Farina sure was quick to point the finger, but that's anyway. It sounds well.
थोड़ा सा जल्दी भागते अपन
I
यहाँ
must
से.
admit that she can be interesting at times. All right.
Wait a minute. Did that...
Well, in your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a tribe?
Well...
And why would that be?
Hostess, no matter how, and if that can be...
All right.
Oh, the Archon Quest. The trial. Yeah, I beat the Archon Quest already in the event. Nice.
Far be it from you wish to say...
I just explore a little bit Fontaine further, then do the Archon Quest.
I have nothing to add.
We'll be making some preparation.
Event is also clear. I only left 2. 1, 2.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you...
Were you always...
Yes. So, the missing girl couldn't... I doubt.
How can you be so...
Well, I couldn't see, but still, we know...
So, it's safe to... Alright, thank you for your help. the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Lyney's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting.
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware.
Very good. Thank you.
You may spare the
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina. And these are my companions. Would you...
Oh.
Well, let's...
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
ठीक है वापस स्टेज पे चल रहे अपन.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of... But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will... Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back?
Very good indeed. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly.
ये तो बहुत पुरानी ट्रिक है मामू बनाने के लिए लोगों को.
So there was a passageway under the magic box.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So...
Precisely.
So that's how...
Once the box with the audience member would only be able to...
Right.
Ah, yes, my assistant and...
And what about when
I was in the mezzanine space.
Oh.
That's how we were able to coordinate Lyney's...
I mean, we are twins. And that's my...
So that's how it all worked.
Lynette would briefly, and then I walk out of the other box in the audience. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that...
If not for that interlude, yet to think that if we have a look around...
This is the scene of the crime. So Lyney and Lynette...
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now.
Thanks, everyone.
3 और मिल गए हमें.
What's this? Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here. Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here? Whatever it is.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which... Oh! Paimon knows! It's... and... here's a broken thing.
ड्रेस पड़ी हुई है.
Oh! These are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found. Right! And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them? Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore. What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Could this...
Alone, perhaps.
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right. I'm right.
Yes. Let's head back up.
सरफेस पे जाया जाए.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns.
Apologies for the wait.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal...
They believe the odds of that. The guards have checked the area.
So the tunnels become like a secret...
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we...
Charges? That's right. This is how a trial... That's right. The statements from... To put it simply...
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Once both sides have finished, then, finally, the oratory...
In practice, yes. Because we've chosen to act...
Even if that were not...
I'm ready to break.
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Maybe. I mean, what better way...
Breaking out suddenly. Just kidding. Just kidding.
What do you mean?
Understood, mademoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
You're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it.
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you have these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty and beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea. Don't underestimate beating egg white. Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out
only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head.
Tea is ready to be served as well. No need for concern.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, however, we can put magician twin.
Exactly. Why would they do such a thing right when
the forward face and the thud be resulting in the shadow? Perhaps the criminal thought that
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but
true. But
could Halsey have secretly made modifications?
That's right. And even if she had, or does she have any?
From the sound of things, your macarons are...
They are...
What? 5?
Please don't worry about it. At my...
No. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough. Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
All right, we get it. Malus, set up the stove again, if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly.
As you wish, there was...
I have the egg, sugar, and...
Well...
Well, that's it for snack time. I don't know if it would be... All right. It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to... I'll be back if I find it.
एक और मिल गया चलो
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects, besides,
Thanks, Navia.
best of luck to you.
Finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
आर्कॉन उड़ रही है मुझे सेकंड इसका डिजाइन जाने वाला है डिजाइन बोर्ड का प्रोग्नोसिस why do you they sound like they're too
In order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Lyney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Lyney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady,
वैम्पायर जैसी क्यों लग रही है इसकी
do you
आंखें
wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Lyney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now.
राइटिंग बड़ी जबरदस्त करी है भाई.
Already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted?
They are harbingers, I think. Yes.
Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off. Hey, Lyney! Why didn't you tell us this before?
Order! Order! Mr. Lyney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true? Please answer my question, Mr. Lyney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I do recognize them from the one word they posted about the Fatih and all heard all the Harvinder. Yes.
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Lyney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
बेचारी आर्कॉन सुंदर जैसी एक्ट कर रही इधर उधर.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry. Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Vatuis several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. I will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydra Archon accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense. Huh? Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
हाँ जी, चलो अब दोबारा शुरू करते हैं. Let the investigation begin again. Sorry, try this.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Lyney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Lyney's perspective.
ये भी अपने को ही करना पड़ेगा.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused a loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Lyney red-handed. So Lyney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Lyney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Lyney experienced, and what he saw. Seems this won't produce a Lyney went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth. According to Lyney, he left... Lyney did not...
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Lyney did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
बराबरी पे फिर से
Paimon did it! Paimon...
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Lyney only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around. Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course I do. If he had been... You're saying that he wasn't.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? I'm not thinking... That's right! Lyney wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lyney had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has...
Well, to think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lyney who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lyney's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
That can't be right.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from wood... No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Lyney as well. Lyney was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. No one entered or left. No one entered or left the. The deceased's name is Cowell. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so the sound we heard may have. The deceased's name is No one entered or left the. The sound we heard may have come from a. The deceased's name is Cow. No one entered or left the. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. No one entered or.
Last वाला बगल वाला ही था ये.
Would have been tough for both.
ये भी नहीं.
What's wrong, Traveler?
Look, since we're at a dead end, just like the trick.
If only we. Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits.
सुखी क्या जो सबका सुखी क्या.
It's not like this is a
वाट लगी तो.
magic trick where you can just make.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Lyney was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing. The deceased's name is Cow. The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover.
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at guards, please step into the...
We are still examining the items, but we have already critically discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the Primordial Sea.
The Primordial Sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results. But we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Lyney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that.
The rope that held the water tank. Now it seems like the hook... The rope that held the water tank. Now it seems like the hook... Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire... I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lyney's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. The water from the primordial sea. Now it seems like the hook. The rope that held the water tank. Lynette was in the magic box on stage. I remember there was something.
दो सही है पहला वाला क्या होगा?
The deceased's name is. The water from the primordial.
It's Ace Detective Hunt in the original plan. Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope, and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial sea inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cowell's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Lyney's personal effects.
What?
That can't be. Does this not clear up, my dear citizen? Lyney did not need to take part in the dissolution of the having made modification, but upon ultimately, he now, as much as I... Am I right?
We've used up all the... Is this the end of the...
Oh no. Seems you...
I believe this is indeed... Now then, Micah, excuse me everyone, but...
Miss, I must ask you not to shout.
Oh, come on, don't be hasty. I'll show you an amazing trick.
What in the world?
No offense, miss, but miracles...
Come on now, don't be... Once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them? And what is such a Come on, Lady in the Butt. As the magic makers and stars of the show...
I understand.
And voila.
वापस आ गई?
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it...
That'll teach you.
Where should I begin? Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. I heard that Lyney's show was going to be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. Lyney even...
Well, and I thought he even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. So I wasn't going to take... I slipped out.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now.
This time, we need to tell the... The strange sound. The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during... Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid.
And this is the tech having been inspected after her panic only intensified after hearing the commotion. Hal leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he took the two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Hal out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
चलो अपना प्रोल्डर फिर बराबरी पे आ गया। यो एलन कितना दे देती है ब्रो आपकी डैमेज? अभी तो कुछ करा ही नहीं बिल्ड उसका।
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped two of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
अभी देखते हैं वैसे कितना दे रही है डैमेज।
So that's the whole story. Bravo! Bravo!
जीत गए अपन ट्रायल। तो जीतना ही था।
Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further argument.
Look at that! She's like a
भाई जोंगली नहीं है, चिंचू नहीं है, उदो नहीं है, रेन नहीं है, आया तो नहीं आया का नहीं है, किस टीम पे यूज करूँ हेइजो? अरे हेइजो खुद एक DPS है भाई, बफ दो और काम लगा देगा वो। हेइजो खुद एक DPS है, जितना ज़्यादा कॉन्स्टिलेशन उतना ज़्यादा खतरनाक वो।
With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young
हेइजो को
woman
वैसे
would be
जोंगली की जरूरत भी नहीं है
to cover up any evidence while committing the deed. Cowell thought of he also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank. Using the fireworks at the end of the performance, he poured the water from the... Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be realizing that there was trouble. Cowell entered the tunnel
और अगर ज़्यादा डैमेज देना हो तो रोजारी के साथ किसी फायर वाले को रख सकते हैं।
He decided to proceed.
शैंगलिंग हो
However,
गई,
his
चिनियन
opponent was
हो
more
गई।
capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked on Lillian according to her own statements. Then, as for Lyney, he was from this reconstruction.
थोमा भी काम आ सकता है।
While there is much in Lyney and Lillian's this case at least can be.
क्या बात है, फुल पावर आ रही है भाई साहब। एक केस से देख रहे हो कितनी पावर जनरेट कर दी, फ्लॉप ही भर दी। अर्जन एलन बेनेट और हाँ बहुत सही टीम है ये। अगर काजू हो तो फाउजन के मैं तो रिकमेंड करूँगा काजू यूज़ करना, वो भी बफ करता है।
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Lyney's baggage?
Right. Your discovery caused me to
ये
make a
कैसा
serious
पाइमोन
mistake.
है? अरे उसने वो लगाया अपना डिस्गाइज डिटेक्टिव वाला। काजू ने ब्रो आने से निकालने का ट्राई करूँगा। अच्छा अगली बार हाँ चलेगा। हाँ की वो गेट तो लगा दो, लाइट बंद कर दो।
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly, unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Kuma's town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Lyney, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets, therefore you would be wise.
Yes, our boss discovered that the water can cause it can also be made. We've been in this.
वो लोग खुद डिसॉल्व हो गए भाई।
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
C1 है जो है ब्रो। अरे नाइस, मेरा भी C1 हो गया। मुझे साला कैरेक्टर पैनल पे वेपन मिलते दिमाग खराब हो जाता है मेरा, वो भी साड़ा सा वेपन। जो को अटैक परसेंट देने से होगा क्या वेपन? अटैक देना पड़ेगा उसको, अटैक वार डिसेंट भी दे सकते हैं या फिर एलिमेंटल मास्टरी वाला भी दे सकते हैं।
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Lyney this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me.
साला पूरे ऑर्फन को लेके बैठे हैं क्या ये लोग?
You might know as the Knave approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
ही होगा, शी कहाँ से हो जाएगा?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, and
So you went from orphan.
that was how we felt it, but he would
That doesn't.
After one particular I waited the answer he gave.
Oh no.
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is I managed to all I
So.
That's right. Father, the house of the I was hesitant, but she was also
Oh. So that's how the two of you joined the house.
she has gained
So.
That's right. Today's case, all of us house to us orphans.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's all right. I understand. I just hope you can. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you. As plain Lyney.
Bye, Lyney.
ओपेरा हाउस छोड़ना ही चलो दरवाजा खोलिए
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Mommy?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, and given.
I see. Sorry.
Don't say that.
And we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having a... Wait.
Huh?
Well, anyway, it would just
असली
be a
लड़ाई
meal,
तो
so
अभी
it shouldn't
बाकी
take up
है
too much of your time.
You don't have to.
Oh, wonderful.
All right then. Let's.
कंप्लीट हो गया ये चलो सेमी ऑटोमेटिक फॉर्जिंग वर्कशॉप कुछ तो खुल गया एकदम से चैप्टर 4 एक्ट 2 ये वाला बाद में करते हैं ट्रो नाम ही कितना शानदार है ट्रो हमारी गैसिंग कभी कभी बहुत सही हो जाती है तो मेरी टाइम फ्लावर 4 दे दिए
Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy.
रिस्पॉन हो गई क्या पूरी अगर रास्ता दिया है जा नहीं सकते, ये क्या बदतमीजी। कब खुलेगा वैसे ही। अगर साइड का एरिया बचा है पूरा, मतलब ज़्यादा नहीं खुला है यहाँ पे भी। जरा इसको बजाते हैं एक बार।
Take it easy. Stay close and you will live.
Just sharpen my spear.
ज़ोंबी अलग ही लेवल में लगता है भाई।
Down. Blaze over.
No touching. Booba, get them.
Order guide you.
Illusion shattered.
Come on. Okay.
Stabilize.
Nice and spicy. Born of ice and frost.
This is order. Gather.
Shine down.
No touching.
दो अलग अलग इसमें मिलेंगे शायद मटेरियल।
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda.
ज़्यादा जोर से बजा दिए लग रहा है। 10% आ गई बैटरी। वन लास्ट फाइट फिर अपन बंद करते हैं।
Stabilize!
Illusion shattered!
All hail! Born of ice and frost.
Pawn to oblivion! There is no escape!
एक बचा है इसमें फूल ढूंढने वाले रोमेरी टाइम फ्लावर्स। जोंगली कड़क लग रहा है एकदम इसमें। चलो ये बंद कर देते हैं, बैटरी एकदम फूक गई है।